Hi, everybody.
Всем привет. Ой, okay, not всем привет.
Welcome to ACI 6 class 5. And the title of the class is Karma and Emptiness. Let's start with the motivation.
Sure.
Actually, originally Geshe Michael would do prayers, and when you practice or when you do your homeworks, you're welcome to do the formal prayers. But we see as our task to make these teachings more accessible for people. Lots of people, they think prayers are weird. This is why we don't do them, but we will be happy to teach those of you who want prayers. So let's do the essence of them, right?
And over time,
There's echo. Echo.
Oh, should the audio be off?
But,
MacBook Air microphone is on.
Okay.
How's it now?
Okay, now I think it's better, right? The echo is not coming from us, was coming from another lady. But we muted. Okay, good. Thank you, Claudia. Okay, let's go.
But there is something to, before we start, there is something to the Tibetan. There's more than 1,000 years of people reciting it. It's a holy language. And so it'll be individual, like we'll do it in English or whatever your current modern language is, but there's also something special to saying the prayers. So if you're inspired or feel connected to it, by all means, do the Tibetan prayers.
And strange, but usually people are either more wired for Sanskrit or Tibetan in these classes. So figure out what you like and do. I love Tibetan. I like Sanskrit also, but sometimes it does not feel like it is strong enough for me. You know, when I say something in a foreign language, it does not feel the same. I don't have the same pictures that I do when I speak my whatever language I understand better than the ancient one, right? English or Ukrainian or Russian or even French. Or even French. I understand much better than Tibetan. So it is more important that you will feel this power of what you do when you set up your motivation before the practice. And I think we can do tomorrow in Tibetan, just to show off.
Sure, yeah. I have a real connection to Tibetan. The letters look beautiful to me. It feels happy. I enjoy the Tibetan. And then there's a lot of terms that I don't even think of them in the English terms. I just think of them in Tibetan. So, but in Sanskrit, not as much. So anyway.
Love Sanskrit.
Yeah, she likes the Sanskrit and the Indian deities and stories more than I do.
Okay, so please sit up straight, close your eyes. Don't close your eyes if you're driving or walking. Go to your breathing, follow your breathing for a couple exhales, inhales. Think about your life right now. Problems you have, happy things you have. And in the midst of all of your problems and happy things, where are you going? with all of this? What are the questions that you still have? What do you need to be here? What is the meaning of these teachings for you? How you think they can help you and can help you to help others? And make a decision that you dedicate every single instance of today's class because you understand the three spheres, your own emptiness, emptiness of everything you do, and emptiness of everybody for whom you do something. Because of your dedication to every living being, make a decision to spend all these precious karmic seeds to understand these teachings better, to really be able to help, to become a being who possesses these four amazing parts of the body and is omniscient and possesses the holy great compassion. Can help, will help, is helping. Go back to your breathing, open your eyes. So it's kind of in a school for enlightened beings, right?
For potential enlightened beings, right? It's like it's always the same, right? You want to be happy. How are you going to be happy? Well, you're going to help other people be happy. Why does that work? Well, because of karma. Why does karma work? Because things are empty. And so this is a great class because we're going to talk a lot about the emptiness of your actions and meditation, and a bit about how to have the direct perception of emptiness, which is the major milestone in your spiritual career, where you're going to see what we're talking about directly for yourself. It won't be in the books anymore. At that point, you're actually going to see it. And each one of us, at some point in our spiritual journey, will inevitably reach that point. Hopefully in this lifetime.
So where we are, class 1 was about the book, remember the lineage and the book, the overview, why we should study, is there any sense to study it, how, and honestly, if there is anything to study on this planet, this is these classes, because otherwise, you see how it goes. I don't know anybody older than 100 years old. I mean, it's pretty hopeless otherwise.
Yeah, my grandmother made it to 104 and she wished she hadn't. It was hard. Her last final years were hard on her.
Slow down. Then class 2 was about how a bodhisattva should live. There was a famous question by Subhuti, who was Manjushri, Buddha of wisdom in disguise, pretended to be a normal guy. Class 3, we are talking about who an enlightened, what is an enlightened being, 4 parts of their body. Class 4, we were talking about future of the teachings, that because everything wears out in this world, these teachings will come to their final end. And this class is about karma and emptiness. I think we can start with slides. So it starts with the weird, I will quote you from the sutra. There was a very weird, I remember when I first read it, it was weird. Still weird. They're having a talk. The conqueror, the Buddha, Shakyamuni, and Subhuti. Subhuti, try to imagine it. Try to comprehend it. I think now of a mass of planets equal in number to the number of drops in all these Ganges rivers. And then imagine that some son or daughter of noble family has come and covered all of them with the 7 kinds of precious substances. And then gone and made the gift of these planets to the one Gandas, which means enlightened beings, to the destroyer of the fool, which is an arhat, and to the totally enlightened one, the Buddha. What do you think, Subhuti? Would this create much merit from such a deed? I know. Did you have in your childhood, like, what would happen if somebody would take the big stone, like big as a mountain, and drop in the deepest lake? Feels something right, like it, right? And you think, like, that's weird. Subhuti says, "O conqueror, many would it be?" I mean, yeah, of course, he would create a lot of merit. And then he says, "What do you think?" Yeah, okay, let's stop here, because first we need to explain the systems.
All right, you want to explain the systems first, or do you want to talk about the merit of it?
Yeah, merit.
What do you think? Didn't we already discuss this in one of the earlier classes?
No,
we haven't discussed it. It's been in my head.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this quite a bit lately, because honestly, you and I have the great good karma at the moment to be able to teach this, right? So we're getting to teach the diamond cutter from a frankly very authentic source. I got you. I have the book in the bedroom, in the bedroom with the blue bedspread. The book, there's my suitcase is there, and the diamond cutter book is in my suitcase. You'll see it if you just walk in and get it. The gold hang.
So what they're discussing, basically the planetary system, like they talk about Tonchu, like 1,000 world systems. They talk about Ton Parma, thousands of thousands inhabited planets, and Ton Chenpo, billion inhabited planets. And first I was thinking, why Geshe Michael is talking about those planets in this class? And I had an idea that probably it's a way to introduce us to the fact that we are not the only creatures in the universe, together with everything else. And this comes from Abhidharma Kosha, this description of this levels of planets and levels of galaxies, right? Elementary, second level, and third level world system.
And what's interesting, one of the interesting things about the Abhidharma Kosha by Master Vasubandhu, so this is 350 AD, right? It's always Master Vasubandhu, and then you think about his half-brother, Master Asanga. And so Master Vasubandhu was one of the founders of the Abhidharma school, the first school of Tibetan Buddhism. And he wrote the book, the Abhidharma Kosha, and really it's like, in the United States, they have something called the World Book Encyclopedia. And before the internet, when you were a kid, you'd go to the library, and if you wanted to look up like hurricanes or planets, right? And so you would go and you would say, okay, well, now I'm going to look up planets. And then you'd go to the volume that said P, and you would look it up, and planets, and there are, at the time, they thought there were 10. I guess they think there are 9 planets now. But anyway, it was the place where you went to look up information about something. And so the Abhidharma Kosha is like that for the Tibetans. They wrote about all of these things. But what's really, I think, intriguing is they talk about all of these planets, but they couldn't have seen them directly with the human eye. And then they talk about like subatomic particles, right, going down, which obviously they couldn't see with the human eye. But they're
And the planets beyond the planets of even solar system, I mean, that definitely nobody could see, even
right.
with some equipment.
Yeah, it's a very, very accurate description of what our universe is. And then the question becomes, well, how did they do it? Well, how? uh, they did it. So then, you probably be. I'll leave it up. I'll leave it up to you guys to decide how they were able to do that. But it's really cool, and I don't think the whole book has been translated uh, in its entirety yet. Has it?
This
No.
one?
No,
Or
no, no,
that?
no. The Dhammapada Sutra has, but not the Abhidharma Kosha.
It's in process. Yes,
Yeah,
Stanley was translating it.
yeah. So it still hasn't been complete. It's apparently very thick, very detailed. But it will be really exciting when it is because it's the foundational book for the Abhidharma school.
And one of the most difficult to translate because it's in really ancient language and all coded.
Stanley's the one working on that?
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're talking here about giving. You wanted to quote something about?
No, I just
this?
wanted people to see that. Well, at some point I'll show you the book now. You guys have probably seen this. This is the commentary that we're studying, Sunlight on the Path to Freedom, and it's the English translation. Is it available in Ukrainian? Not yet.
We do not translate yet.
So this is the English translation. It'll be available in other languages.
It's available in Russian. I was one of translators, and soon we will translate it into Ukrainian. Maybe if you speak other languages, you should check with your correspondent teams. I think it was translated into Vietnamese. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure about Spanish.
Highly recommend you get the book and read along with it. It's somehow much more real when you can actually like hold the book itself. So
yeah. So they're talking here about the Buddha and Subhuti. They are talking about basically giving, right? And they have, okay, if you filled 1 billion planets with gold and offered, just imagine. Imagine one coin, then imagine it covers this, I don't know, forget about the planet. Think about how many golden coins do you need to cover the floor of your room. Oh, okay, your whole apartment, your street, your city, your planet. This is a small planet, by the way. There are bigger ones, and then 1 billion planets covered with the gold, etc., jewels. And he asks, would it be a good stuff to do to offer that much? And Subhuti, yeah, of course, it would be a great thing to do. But then he says, like, does the virtue exist from this giving? And he said, no, of course, the virtue does not exist. Because here they mean something else. Because this whole class will be about it, right? I was wondering why Geshe Michael was talking here about deeds and their results. And then, because if you will follow the class, it's all very logical, except the second question. And then it took me a while to figure why he was talking about the second question. Could you please show us the slide, the second slide? Yeah. So like if somebody, let's say, gives all these planets, right, covered with gold, like can we say that he actually created some karma? Like, does it exist? Can we expect for future results?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, right? And there's a lot of issues like, how do you store karma? Like, where is your karma?
Yeah, like I did something, right? What did they give you? Did they give you anything?
That I'm wearing at the moment? You gave me the bracelet.
Oh yeah, the bracelet. Okay. I gave the bracelet to the bill. I had good intentions, right? Supposedly, I have to have results in the future, but can I really say that the future consequences are related to the karma that I have done? I mean, the action stopped already. The consequences, I don't have the results yet. I mean, does it mean they do not connect to each other? I mean, can I say at all that the past actions bring consequences in case they never touch in the moment, right? It's important, right? Because honestly, there are schools of Buddhism that will tell you that past does not exist. So, and here, how we explain it, that actually they do exist in the present moment in a broader sense, because the time is an interesting thing, right?
It's actually looking for past, present, and future is one of the proofs of emptiness in the first place, right? That if you start looking for a moment when something actually happens, right? So like, okay, well, when did this happen? Well, did it happen at like 12:05? Well, okay, maybe it was 12:04 or 12:06, but you keep getting you keep dividing it down, right? You keep looking, well, did it happen at
where is the exact moment it happened?
Right, did it happen in this second? Well,
like, maybe I need a lot of numbers after the comma,
so did it happen in this second? Well, okay, that second can be divided into a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? Like a second is a unit of time. And then, but then so then maybe you get like that half second, and then half of a half second, and then half of a half second, or half of a half, and you just keep going on down forever, right? Like there's no reason it would ever stop. And you can't find a single moment of time. And so then, where are these things happening? How is it that your mind is seeing a present, right? And it's Nagarjuna loved this line of thinking, and it's interesting because time isn't as solid as what we think it is. Why is time unfolding out on the scale that it does? I mean, if there are an infinite number of parts in a single second, why aren't we living out our entire life in a single second? There's an infinite moments.
It's so mind-blowing, to be honest, when let's be clear. I did something in the past. The result did not come yet. I mean, will I get the result? Yes. Did it come already? No. Did the action finished? Yes. Like, how they can be connected? And the answer is only because they do not exist on their own. They are labeled by my projections. My seed covers parts, right? In this In this case, this is one part is my past, another part is my present, and another part is my future. And there is a seed that connects them together. And there is something that I can follow, right, through from the past to my future. So in this perspective, time exists, but there is no any other time.
Yeah, the time unfolds because the way it is, because that's the way our mind labels it. It doesn't have to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
It could be different.
Does it mean that now time for you does not exist? No, it functions. The main problem for people who misunderstood Nagarjuna, they were thinking if he says the thing is empty, then it does not exist. And actually what it means that things, they are empty from their own nature. They do not exist without me projecting my how to say, the content of my mental seeds, right? The projections. It's an image that covers something. And the image is a very relative word because you cannot say image covers decibels, right? Bill talks to me and I know what he told me because it's not the picture, but an equivalent of the like sound recognition block or whatever covers what he says, and oh, he told me good morning or something, right? Okay, so how this is related? This is still, we are still in the giving, right? In how to get enlightened, and how to get enlightened. Normally, you have to do something, and they're talking here about planets covered with gold and about giving, and so basically, you do certain actions to become enlightened, right? This is why it's karma. Karma is another word for karma is action. What should be the actions? Here we come to the next slide, and this is about 6 perfections. You want to do it?
The perfection. So what's the difference between an action that is giving without the perfection and giving as a perfection?
Mm-hmm.
When you're giving, normally, I give you an apple. So that's virtuous, it's positive. You'll get 10 apples back in the future at some point. If you like apples, that's a good thing. So then what makes something the perfection of giving? And that's going to be when you do the act with an awareness of its emptiness. You do the act with an awareness that the object is empty. I mean, I'm seeing it as an apple. Maybe the other person sees it as, the nectar of deathlessness in the form of an apple. Maybe somebody sees it as something completely extraordinary. And then, the emptiness of the giving, and then the emptiness, the giver, the giving, and the action. And so when you do it as a perfection, it can become a cause for reaching enlightenment. Giving an apple in and of itself, it's going to be very slow. It's that's the bodhisattva path, right? It's going to take you 3 great eons. But it moves much quicker when you can do it as a perfection. Mm-hmm. And giving is first because you need the material resources to practice. So anything else to say on that?
I think I'm thinking also about 3 types of giving. Mm-hmm. So there is a giving of material stuff, resources, right? What you can give, material stuff. Then they would say you give protection, and protection means physical and mental. I can protect somebody by giving them a place to stay. I can protect somebody by helping to not to be, I don't know, attacked or punished or something, right? I can help somebody by stopping my mental afflictions because people can get scared of me, right? Or something like that. And the third one is the most powerful. Like they are going in the, how to say, increasing, they're increasing in power, right? First, material stuff and resources is the lowest, protection is higher. And sometimes they also say giving love, right? And third one is giving these teachings. Giving these teachings to somebody, if you understand them correctly, and if somebody asks you to teach them, is the highest. Be careful. In some countries, people think that they can share these teachings because they kind of like it, it's easy, and they don't need to do the other two givens. It does not work this way. We should practice all three of them if we want to get something out of this perfections, right? Out of this practice. So if you are honest with yourself, you can find which type of giving is the most difficult for you. And this is exactly the one you should practice. And for me, it was exactly giving material things and resources. You can have somewhere something to work on, even on lower levels. Why giving of Dharma is the most powerful? Because if you understand those teachings, I mean, imagine a situation at your job. Somebody is asking you to do something you don't want, right? Or you have people you do not like at your work or wherever in your life. Then if you don't know these teachings, then you will just do natural things you always do, like maybe you don't yell back. I mean, in culture, we do not yell back. We just do something nasty when they cannot fight back. So, which is even worse, if you ask me. So, if you know these teachings, right, then you will stop yourself from yelling back at people or from having these thoughts of revenge and something like nasty you will do back to hurt the person that you don't like. And you will become a happy person, right? Because the only reason people hurt you is because you did it in the past. And here it's very important to know it without the feeling of guilt, because otherwise you're also prohibited to feel guilt, by the way. Because if you feel like, oh, I'm a bad person, you also plant bad seeds. So know about it and do not feel guilt. Just, be constructive. Okay, that was not very smart. I probably should stop it. Because I'm really interested in brighter future. Giving with no awareness of emptiness. Yeah, we will explain it in the moment. We will get to three spheres. Actually, we can do right now, right? Three spheres again.
Yeah, if you want to do it.
Yeah. So three spheres is, you remember that you don't have to be what you are right now, what you do, like what you give, I don't know, money or something else, or teaching is empty. Can be something really valuable, less valuable, could be, I don't know, the nectar of deathlessness, right? And the person to whom you do the action is also empty. Could be a normal being, could be an enlightened being. All depends on your projections. And this is what is making your act of giving so powerful.
Mm.
So Jinpa Po, or Jinche also, he says, Jinpa Yul, the giver, the object, Jinpa Yul, and Jinpa Java, or the act of giving. The giver, the recipient, and the act of giving. All three are empty.
Yeah, it's a fascinating subject. We think we know. I think I know what you see. Of course, you see the same thing I do, right? No, it's not true. We don't know what the other person sees. We really only have our own awareness of what's going on in the world. We're assuming that other people see it the way we do. We're assuming that people think that, I don't know, like I like all the vegetables. Geshe would always talk about eggplants. He doesn't like eggplant.
I love eggplants. Don't say Geshe.
So he'd say, well, he assumed everybody doesn't like eggplant. But I mean, you don't know, right? Mm-hmm. You don't know what people, you really, really don't know. Even if they tell you, yeah, I love eggplant or I don't like eggplant. I mean, all you have is
the sound
that you put a label onto, even if they're telling you something, it's just your mind's impression of what they told you. And then, well, why do we care about that, right? Well, if it's your mind's impression, well, you can change it. If it was an impression that you didn't like, well, that's your fault. If it's an impression you did like, well, that was your virtue, and you can change it. It's how you get to heaven, right? Because you can change everything.
And it's a very usual situation if you work with somebody, whoever, maybe even just online, but you have people that, I don't know, maybe you think they are not fair with you, they are a little bit aggressive or something. And I mean, I had my boss, oh boy, I will not tell you which company. He was horrible. I mean, I was thinking he's the only one who is not coming from me, my love. So he would gather all the guys and pick one person and would yell at this person like for 20 minutes to blame for something that whatever he was thinking he has to yell about. It was horrible. I was suffering looking and hearing it, and until I talked to another girl and she said, boy, he's so handsome. I was like, oh my god. He's so powerful, he's such a amazing guy. And so yeah, you don't know how other people perceive things. You even don't know how to say, you even are mistaken about your thinking process, because you think you have thoughts, you think you generate these ideas, but actually they are also sounds in your head that you label with your with your seeds.
It was it was one of the early indicators I had that this path was accurate. I was probably about where you guys are at. I'd studied a few courses and, maybe 5 or 6 into it. And I was a pilot at American Airlines. And it was almost everybody there had been in the military prior. And so, ex-military people, particularly pilots, could be
absolutely non-aggressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Zero anger, guys.
So, you had a bunch of ex-military pilots, and, I'd been at the airline for about 10 years. And, sometimes trips went great. Sometimes they were just okay. Sometimes there could be a lot of conflict in the cockpit. A lot of conflict. And, this was back in the days when it was round dial all the instruments were analog. You were just reading numbers on the cockpit and looking at paper maps, and you were having to do the thinking, right? The pilot made all the decisions. And now with computers, it's a lot easier. You can see there's
in modern planes with computers.
In modern planes, I mean, frankly, it's a lot easier because the computers help dramatically, frankly. And so, in the earlier days, there could be a disagreement about what all of those numbers, because you're having to build a three-dimensional picture in your mind of where you are and where you're going and where you want to go. And if you built a different picture in your mind than what the other guy could be, it could be a pretty intense discussion about it. There's weather to negotiate, mountains and things, and it was important to get that picture right. And so, and I had a trip. It was a bad trip. The guy and I, we weren't working together as a team. We were pushing and fighting back against each other. And we'd flown through some bad weather, get into Chicago. And it was so unpleasant that I got on the ground. I had to have a discussion with the other guy. Like, I told him I wasn't going to fly with him anymore if we kept fighting like this. And we resolved it amongst ourselves, went back and flew, and the rest of the trip was fine. But then afterwards, I thought, you know what? Well, where's this coming from? Why was that other pilot fighting with me instead of working together with me? And I was like, well, okay, I wasn't there trying to help him. I was there competitive, right? I was going to be the right. I was going to, I was the smart one. And I was going to show him that I was the smart one, and that he was wrong. And so then I made the conscious decision just to stop fighting with guys, period. I just showed up. I'm going to help you. I don't care what the situation is. I'm here to help you to fly through this trip. And how long do you think it took before things got better? How long do you think it took before the conflict was gone in the cockpit?
Next life.
Yeah, what next life? Well, which would be, fortunately, it was quicker than that. If it'd been next life, I might not be teaching these classes right now. I literally, I went almost 10 years and never had another conflict in the cockpit. I mean, it changed instantly. I mean, there would be times when it would be unpleasant in the cockpit later on, but I wouldn't push back. I wouldn't try and be, I wouldn't get into a contest with the other guy. And over the years, it just kept getting better and better and better. Just like, I never have problems at work ever. Now. And Geshe said, if you listen to the class, he'll say he worked in the diamond industry in the 90s and built a company. And it started with 3 people. He was one of the first of the 3. And they ended up having 800 employees. And he said, by the end of it, all 800 of them were wonderful. Like, he liked all 800 of them. And, if you've ever worked in a company, that's a pretty extraordinary thing to be able to say, right?
It is extraordinary.
I think it's possible. I think if you get rid of your own mental afflictions, your anger and your jealousies, I think it's entirely possible to have a corporation with 800 people and you like every single one of them.
Yeah. It actually really works because I spent in corporate life 15 years. Mm-hmm. Bill, when I met Bill, he saw me practicing my, actually we jumped to perfection number 3, but that's fine. We will go back to morality later. The thing is that it's what you're supposed to do is completely opposite from what you want to do. And it's hard. And Bill saw me practicing patience with my with my bosses, and he said, oh, he would distinguish voices, and he would say, oh, this is the angry one, right? The evil one.
Yeah.
Because there were some of them, I was consciously working on my anger, and I would get the most aggressive bosses in the company.
Mm.
And by the end, you remember what happened, right? They were close to crying when I was leaving.
They disappear. And you don't have to like run to your boss and say this person's mean to me. You need to get rid of them. If you change, they'll just stop showing up in your life. Either they'll get fired, which I saw that happen, or you'll just never see them at work. They'll get they'll get transferred out, they'll go someplace else. It's really like you'll just run out of the karma to have them in your life. And I will say that when I would listen to you on your work calls, you were very good about not getting afflicted. And it's not,
I'm not crazy.
well, and it's not that the guy in the cockpit next to me wasn't difficult, and that they were legitimately difficult and legitimately unpleasant from my perspective. And it,
and the best way to kill them is kill them with kindness.
Kill them with kindness. That's exactly it. That's how you're going to get rid of them. Is you're going to kill them with kindness.
Yeah.
I think I've said this before, but it's kind of funny. One of the most insulting things that could happen at Diamond Mountain is because everybody was there, they all knew about this, and if somebody was going out of their way to be really polite to you, you knew they didn't like you.
It's like the what was his name? The Canterbury Abbey, who was famous for treating his personal enemies as kings. If somebody wanted to some special treatment in London, they would start criticizing him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but at Canterbury.
Yeah. Okay. So we talked about giving. Did we miss anything?
I mean, try it, honestly. Like wherever your situation is, if you're having difficulties with people in your family, with people at work, just try it and see what happens. I think you can go 6 months without doing what you're seeing is being irritating in other people. Right? You get that? So like you're seeing something else in somebody else that's irritating. Like my boss is angry with me. If you can go 6 months without being angry at them, see what happens. It will change for you.
And actually, why we are discussing it, because of the giving of Dharma, right? Mm-hmm. Why the giving of Dharma is the highest? Because it's a fishing rod, right? Mm-hmm. It's instead of giving fish, you give a fishing rod. You can do anything if you understand these teachings. You can change your life upside down in the ways you cannot even imagine as of today. Mm. Because even your vision comes from you, from your past deeds, and you can have broader vision, you can have higher things to accomplish that you did not even think that people can think this way. You see, like it's an endless, beautiful story if you really understand these teachings.
And what's really crazy? Your past is empty also. What you think happened in the past, your impression of what happened in the past, is itself an impression you're having at the moment. And your view of the past can change. You can say, oh, that person who was that evil boss at work, well, okay,
did something important to me.
Yeah, right. Then you'll reach a point in your life where you'll look back and say, oh, he wasn't really evil. He was sending me in a direction I needed to be. They won't look evil anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Second perfection is perfection of morality. Usually we talk about 10 good and bad deeds, right? With the body, no killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct. With the speech, let's say it positively, save life, protect other people and other people belongings, and respect other relationships. Then how you call it?
Lying.
Speak truthfully. Then connect people with your words instead of splitting up. Do not use harsh words. Speak gently to people. 3, one more. Idle talk. Do not say anything that you will forget in the next 3 days. And to people who are not the decision makers in the first place, whining also is an idle speech. And 3, with your mind, is jealousy, is ill will,
anger.
Anger. Let's say anger, jealousy, anger, and understand how the world functions, correct worldview, understand emptiness and seeds. There are 3 sets of vows that we will not go into detail, just we will say why they exist and what is the difference. They exist because you need to speed up your karma. Every single level of vow is another level of speed. You take the first level, pratimoksha vows, they protect you from your karma ripening back, bad karma ripening back on you, right? And the bad karma, it's the reason you talked when you started to believe these teachings. This is my moment. When they told me that bad karma is not a moral category. It's when I will get an unpleasant result.
Yeah.
So I'm hurting myself by hurting other people. This is the essence. And the first level vows, they protect you from yourself, basically, right? You stop hurting yourself because you stop hurting other people. And second level, bodhisattva vows, not only you do not hurt other people, you help them, right? And the way to get yourself to the paradise and to get your body of light is to help other people to get there themselves. This is why you may want to teach somebody Dharma, right? And I see the question here, right? That you may have doubts if you understand it correctly. Then teach only what you really are sure about. Teach only people who will ask you. There will be people around you who will ask you to help them. At the very least, you can ask, do you want me to give you an alternative view? No, something like that.
Be careful. You're going to have doubts about emptiness until you've had the direct perception of emptiness yourself, right? These ACI courses are extremely well designed. And frankly, like one of the reasons why the ACI courses are good is because it's part of a lineage going back 2,500 years of people being very, very careful about teaching it properly. And a lot of weird ideas can creep in. And a lot of and when I've seen other people teach these classes, other people in this lineage, it's remarkable how much they're teaching exactly the same thing. And what's happened is over the centuries, people have had the direct perception of emptiness, and they know for sure what's going on. And so this lineage is particularly clean and accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So be careful about adding your own wrong ideas onto it. You don't want to teach this inaccurately.
Especially don't call it ACI.
Yeah.
Can call it something else.
Yeah.
If you
And
want.
if you're going to add your own opinions into something, or, be clear that that's what you're doing. It's a difficult thing, right? To find somebody who can accurately guide you on a spiritual path, right? It's the direct perception of emptiness, really? Like, how do you have that? How do you reach shamatha? And how do you reach a deep state of meditation and then have the direct perception of emptiness? And then go through the 10 bodhisattva levels to reach enlightenment, the 4 bodies of a Buddha? I mean, obviously, it's harder than putting together a piece of IKEA furniture, right? It's you need somebody who knows what they're doing, because if you have wrong spiritual guidance, it can send you off in a strange direction for thousands of lifetimes. And this is a solid lineage, so be careful with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the reason why you have different kinds of vows, we also have third level is secret vows, tantric. And the reason for those one is you can get enlightened with bodhisattva vows, of course. This is why they exist. But this is like, if you're desperate, if you really want to do it quickly, then you need something in addition, and the higher vows.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do with this perfection, you keep your vows. You keep your vows, and especially if you have different levels, you have to figure out the priorities, how they work together, because different levels may tell you slightly different things, and you have to keep the higher ones. And if you keep the higher ones, it means that you have perfectly kept your vows.
I think the key thing here, one of the key things, is what you'd said earlier, is that morality, it isn't what your parents tell you to do. It isn't what your country tells you to do. It isn't what your work tells you to do. It's what you're going to do that brings a pleasant result to you, what brings a positive result to you. Your country can make a law that's unethical,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, and produces negative results for you. And so following that country's law in a case like that wouldn't be moral.
Mostly they don't do it, but it's possible. There are countries that are doing this.
Most laws reflect
common sense.
Okay, yeah, like don't kill, don't steal, don't commit sexual misconduct, right? But there certainly have been cases where there were things that were considered ethical.
Like women are prohibited in some countries from getting education, right? It's a weird one.
Yeah, against the law to educate females.
Yeah.
So, good example.
Okay. Then the third perfection is not getting angry. So we talked about what? Jinpa Tsultrim Sopa. Sopa in Tibetan is patience. And patience here, actually, there is a connotation of be patient when something happens, but mostly it's about not getting angry when the time comes, which is very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And we will not be going into details here. We can talk about it probably for a couple days, but the main idea is this is one of the most difficult practices in these teachings, not to get angry when your time comes. And you can measure your progress by the time that it takes you to remember where things are coming from and stop hurting other people and hurting yourself with other people this way. So the time that it takes you to figure it out and stop yourself, this is the measurement of your progress. If it goes down, shrinks, like you remember right away, or even before you get angry, then you make progress. Fourth is the fourth one.
Joyful effort.
How you call it in Tibetan? I forgot.
Sundru.
Tsundru, right? Tsundru, perfection of joyful effort. Joyful effort is not when you work hard.
Mm-hmm.
Ken Rinpoche was saying, like, if you work hard without joy, you do not work.
Mm-hmm.
So Tsundru is when you did something good and you're happy that you did something that will help other people and yourself, of course. That's Tsundru, easy. And like I remember I was in the flight, we were flying from Moscow to Vienna with Geshe Michael with the ACI tour. And people were staring at us because it was a lot of joy around him. He brings a lot of joy wherever he goes. Like, people are happy, like it's a constant Dharma party going on around him.
Mm.
So he is probably my example of Tsundru.
Yeah, it is interesting. There's like a bubble of happiness that goes around him, like joy and energy.
And around other teachers also. So then perfection of concentration. Then in order to reach direct perception of emptiness, of course you need to meditate. Don't get upset if you don't. Just start slowly, maybe with 10 minutes a day. And Bill is, by the way, building his course about meditation, and he will teach you how to start and what are the signs when you are moving between the stages in meditation. But mainly meditation is the time on the cushion. This is what will bring you your results. Of course, knowing what you have to do. You have to reach some level, some something of meditation to see emptiness directly. And with this level, you will do the sixth perfection of wisdom, Sherab. One taste of Sherab is your day-to-day Sherab, when you don't get angry or you remember where things are coming from. And another taste of Sherab is when you use it, when you use your shamatha, your ability to meditate, the sixth perfection, to analyze the emptiness, right? Whew. Okay,
Yeah.
my love. Go ahead. I lost some voice.
The perfection of wisdom.
Anything you want to add about it?
No, not a lot.
The spheres we talked already.
Yeah.
Right?
Meditative concentration. You can do it. You don't have to go into a long retreat. You can meditate. It's possible. Relatively reachable.
Mm-hmm. Okay, can we see the next slide? Because we did it already, but actually now it's in order. Yeah, please, you can take a look after, but we actually covered it, the emptiness of the act of giving, of three elements, right? Of the giver, of the person who gives, and of the given itself. And I want to answer the question how the given without three spheres look like, because there was such a question. It's when you see a beggar in the street and you think, oh, I will give him or her some money because he is a beggar, I'm helping him, and he needs my money. That's basically given without understanding emptiness and three spheres, right? So when you do understand, you think, okay, I'm empty myself. I don't have to be the way I am. The thing that I do is empty, right? It can be a very powerful act of giving, or maybe not so powerful. And the person to whom I give is also empty. So these are the three spheres or three elements. Yeah, and sometimes also the object that we give, right? It can be three elements: the giver, the recipient, and the object, or the giver, the recipient, and the action. Maybe in two ways. Maybe you can remember all four of them.
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Let me see if I forgot anything here. I think we can move to the next question, right?
Yeah.
Okay, why the Buddha says that the perfection done without wisdom did not deserve the name perfection?
This is interesting. And it's kind of related, it's directly related to the first topic we were discussing. Why is teaching the Diamond Cutter Sutra more valuable than covering an infinite number of planets with an infinite amount of jewels? Why does 4 lines of the Diamond Cutter Sutra outshine an unimaginable number of jewels? And the problem with I mean, not that I wouldn't want it, right? Like if somebody gave me a big bucket of diamonds, I'd be happy to take them.
No problem, you can bring.
Yeah, so I'd be happy. They talk about some people have the miracle power of being able to discover jewels, right?
Yeah, Anatta Pintada, right?
Yeah,
the sponsor of the Buddha Shakyamuni.
Yeah, that he could see it and just go pick it up. And I mean, we're not saying that wouldn't be useful, right? There's things you can do with it. The problem is the only thing you're going to be able to do with it, though, are things in samsara. And everything here, if you really understand everything here is suffering. And so, all you're going to be able to do is refine your suffering a little bit with that stuff.
Yeah, like if I'm given to this beggar, will it, with no understanding, right, of emptiness, will I get it back? Yes, I will. Will it be a good result? Yes, it will be a good result. It will end. It will wear out. This is the problem.
Yeah, and probably a pretty powerful result if the person's really in need, right? But you don't have to know anything about emptiness. You just give it to them. You'll get something back, and it's virtuous, right? But it's not going to get you to Buddhahood unless you understand the emptiness of it. And that's why understanding the Diamond Cutter Sutra is understanding emptiness. And giving as a perfection will is a cause for Buddhahood. And that's why it's so much more powerful. And that's why just giving somebody $1 because they're poor isn't the perfection of wisdom, because it's not going to get you out of samsara. You haven't reached the full potential of that action. You haven't perfected it.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to give a quote. Okay. What you were talking about. So they are talking about these planets, right? Would it be a big deal? Yeah, of course. They would create a lot of merit, right? And then the conqueror says, yes, Subhuti, suppose that someone did do this. Suppose they did take all these planets and cover them with the 7 kinds of precious substances and offer them as a gift to enlightened ones. And now suppose that somebody else held held but recited or taught somebody a single verse of 4 lines from this particular presentation of the Dharma, from the Diamond Cutter Sutra. So he read it, explained to others, and taught it correctly. This second person would create much more merit from their action. Their merit would be countless and beyond all calculation.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's true?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think it's
true.
Yeah. So why this is so? Because if you really understand it, I mean, you can do anything with your life.
Mm-hmm.
You can reach what you forget about reach what you dream. Of course, you can reach what you dream. Usually, we do not dream about anything really worth dreaming. You will have better dreams also.
Well, that's why they say that knowledge of this stuff, knowledge of emptiness, is better than a wish-giving jewel. Because even if you had, there are stories, I think it's possible they could have existed. I personally haven't seen one, but they're actually formulas for how to make a wish-giving jewel in the Tibetan text.
Nagarjuna was expelled from the monastery for making not wish-giving jewel, but how is it? He was an alchemist, right? He was making gold out of other stuff.
And so they say that even if you had a wish-giving jewel that grants you whatever you want, I want houses and cars and airplanes and boats and rocket ships to take me to Mars. It wouldn't be as good as true knowledge of emptiness, because we don't know what to even wish for, right?
Mm-hmm.
That enlightenment is better than that. We don't even know how good enlightenment can be.
Mm-hmm. And what if you do not, if you do something good but without perfection, right, of giving and other stuff, like I remember Geshe Michael was teaching this exact class, and he said that he has seen in the news the ex-president Ronald Reagan, and I don't know if you heard, he had Alzheimer, and they were walking in the White House, probably for some ceremony or something, and he has seen the building, and he said, "Oh, that sounds familiar. I think I know it." Like a man who has done lots of stuff, good and bad, probably in his life, and he does not remember even the place of his kind of highest achievement, right? Planted lots of different seeds to get to that place, and karma wore out. He does not even recognize the building, much less that he was a president. So I was thinking that death and Alzheimer are in a way similar, because the seeds, the seeds of the life can wear out, but even during the lifetime, your seeds of consistent image of your life can wear out, and you're not the same person anymore.
To be fair, once you've reached a certain age, there's whole years, decades of your life that you don't remember anymore and have lost, and are effectively dead to you.
Even if you're not a person with an Alzheimer. I don't remember lots of years in my life.
There were, if you're of a certain age, there were things that were very important to you when you were little, that are gone. The things that were critical to you when you were 5, you don't even remember them anymore.
I remember you told me that you were able to remember in your 3-year retreat, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was shocking to see, frankly.
Okay. So then the last question, I think, and I have some notes here. Let's see where I can.
So why are they in this order? And how do the first five perfections and the last one act as causes for each other? They each build on each other, right? And then the first five, you're collecting the mental seeds, the karma to be able to have the direct perception of emptiness.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, we talked a fair bit about each of the six perfections, but one really interesting point is that if you want to be able to meditate, which you have to be able to have the direct perception of emptiness, and you have to have the direct perception of emptiness if you're going to put a permanent end to your mental afflictions and a permanent end to that type of suffering when you do that. And but in order to be able to meditate, you have to be keeping your morality. You have to be living an ethical life in order to be able to meditate. You can't do it without it. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting because I think, like Geshe talked in the class about how people would come up to him and they'd say, well, I've been trying to meditate for a decade and I can't. And he'd say, well, usually said, if you've been trying for that long and you can't do it, it's because you have some kind of ethical issue. Mm-hmm. And you'd think, well, okay, I'm not killing anybody. I'm not stealing from anybody. I'm not committing sexual misconduct, and I still can't meditate. What's getting you? What do you think is getting them? Idle talk. Mm-hmm. And that's you on your phone, flipping through the reels. That's wasting your time with like silly stuff. It makes the top 10 for a reason. But I would say, like if you've really worked on the other stuff, if you're not lying to people, if you're not using harsh words or divisive speech, it's that idle talk. It's filling up your brain with nothingness, like just blah 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 blah, and then you can't focus. And so.
And I also wanted to warn people because I made this mistake, and I think it blocked me for a while. Even when you come to these teachings, sometimes you are a little bit greedy. And when I first met ACI, there was not much information, fortunately for me, because I could focus on these classes and I could really go through them, meditate, do analytical meditation. And please keep some space for your mind without any noise. Like, don't be like a person who is turning every time to the next radio station, like, okay, I'm listening here, I'm listening there, I'm listening here. You need at the very least couple hours, no noise every day. It will help you, because otherwise you will exhaust your mind also.
And we get caught in it too. Well,
100%, especially me.
well, yeah, but no, both of us do, because every once in a while, she's a night owl. She stays up later.
Night owl. Yeah. I love you speak too fast.
Okay, yeah, that's so.
And she, very American.
Yeah, that's an idiom, isn't it? So she, Ina, gets a lot of her work done late at night, but sometimes. And I go to bed earlier and I'll wake up and I'll be like, uh-oh, she's still awake. And she's gotten trapped in her phone, right? Or, like the same with me. She'll come in and like we'll say, well, I'm gonna come rescue you. Like you got your phone captured you. You need saving.
Yeah,
and
that's,
and and it's very addictive. It will burn through your time, through your mental space. It's not making you happy, right?
yeah.
It's just wasting your time and keeping you from doing higher things. And so be very careful.
And maybe you are not caught in your phone. Like for me, it's quite rare that I'm doing something useless with my phone. For
mm,
me, it's I'm having next ideas, and I cannot just disconnect from it, Especially if I'm a little bit tired, then it's more difficult to stop myself than to go on, you know what I mean? So you have to make a conscious decision, and maybe you need somebody to rescue you, like,
I will say that there was uh like we had both gotten stuck playing Clash Royale, a game on the telephone.
yeah, we had the game we were
uh
playing when my mom died, and
yeah.
I had something to do something else. Then I couldn't do any dharma, I couldn't meditate, I couldn't do anything. And I was thinking, okay, that's not very stupid, there is a strategy, I don't want to play chess. Yeah, and then we realized that we got really stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, we just gotten addicted to the game,
Yeah,
and it wasn't. Yeah.
not happy anymore, right?
Yeah.
Was not serving the purpose. And maybe you have something like that. Don't be hard on yourself, okay? It's life. If you don't see yourself as enlightened, it's okay. You can go back to meditation or whatever you're doing. Meditation will not judge you. Even we will not judge you.
But yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
But we took Clash Royale off our phones, and do you ever miss it now? No, of course not. Of course not. You won't miss, if you've gotten stuck on your phone or your computer, you won't miss whatever it is that's capturing your attention. Just let it go. Do something happier.
Yeah. So the last thing about this class is what is the karma to understand emptiness, right? The class is called Karma and Emptiness. And basically it's when very difficult to get to understand the worldview. It's a separate subject how it happens for the first time. But once you do, you have to study more and more and act out of these teachings, like maybe in your business, help competitors, do something that is really according to the worldview and completely against the current. Because there is this idea nobody can understand in the old could understand in the old translations of Buddhist texts, like no self, right? Because all this book, the Diamond Cutter Sutra, they are talking about there is no self, there is no living beings, there is no people, right? And what it means actually, it means that there is this idea, like when they talk about duck, is it difficult to translate into some languages, easy to English, they have a word self. So I was thinking when I was reading the early translations into my language, I was thinking it's about me, but actually what they mean is about self, or how to say, self-standingness, right? Self-existence of an object, not necessarily human, including humans. This is why they he talks about self, living beings, and people, meaning including objects, right? So what does it mean? It means if I will tell Bill, my love, be aware, there is a purple 10-meter tall elephant, two-headed, in the where? In the living room. So he will not, he's smiling at me, right? He's not
I'm not
screaming
afraid.
out of fear.
Yeah, I need by use.
Because I'm talking about something that does not exist anyway, right? So the trick here is why this share up wisdom, the worldview is so important, because of this idea that is wrong. There is no such an elephant. But if he will believe what I say, he may jump, he may break the leg or something, you know. This self-existence, uh, there's no self-existent pen. There is no self-existing me. But because we believe it, this idea, it works, it functions, and it hurts us and others. So this is why it is such an important idea. No self means there is nothing that does not come from me. Things cannot exist self-existently, but when I believe it, I hurt myself and other people, of course. Is there a I? Yes, there is somebody whose name is Inna, but there is no self-existent Inna.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Sequential?
Yes. Let's see, we have questions. I think we answered even the questions. When Bill's meditation course start? We plan it for October, will be in Montenegro. Yeah, okay. If you have any other questions, please write them down in the chats, and the coordinators will send us and we can answer them. Mm-hmm. Close your eyes, sit up straight, and think about your life right now. Where are you going in your life? And dedicate every single moment during this class to not only to get everything you want, not only to get to the point you will be absolutely happy and your happiness and pleasure will increase from moment to moment, but also you will see the whole world around you same, happy, having fun, and the happiness just grow. No wars, no conflicts, no deaths, even no such words anymore. In order to help every living being, you have to become absolutely happy yourself first. Go back to your breathing, open your eyes, and see you tomorrow for a very important class. And I hope Bill can join.
Yeah, I've got to go to work.
It's flying right now.
So we'll see. I got to leave for work now. Do your homeworks. Submit your work to ACI and get your certificates.
And please help ACI if you are grateful to us. Please help ACI and apply to become a volunteer, because this organization is 100% charitable. We do not make, nobody is making any money out of you here, and also the high karmic object. By the way,
it's this is easily the highest class that we teach, and because of that, we give it away for free.
Yeah.
You know, and they're super big on that. So and buy the book. You know, if you English, Russian.
Yeah, that's the Russian one, and the Ukrainian. We are working on it. We will make it happen, right, Maria?
But it's good to read it.
And the Reta also.
In the paper book.
Yeah, right. And please stay safe.
Stay safe.
We love you. See you tomorrow.
Come back tomorrow. Tomorrow is one of the, frankly,
You should, my love.
Yeah, I might
Have
just
to. Nada.
we'll see what happens with work. But tomorrow's the biggest class in the 18 courses, frankly.
Yeah.
So
come tomorrow. See you.
All right.
Bye.
Пока-пока.
Thank you, translators. Thank you, technical team.